Mark Time, independent brand, sent me in a watch for review, the M1.2. We're going to take a look at this loaner watch. Now, there is no hand in any of my opinions here, and I'm not being compensated to make this review. I just enjoy making review videos of independent brands to showcase you guys what they have to offer and give you guys my opinion, but at the end of the day, I want you to inform yours. Now, I have to be completely honest with you guys. When I first saw the watch, I did get fashion brand vibes, and I was gravely mistaken. The further I looked into the watch, I couldn't have been more wrong. But at the end of the day, the current design is inspired by German Bauhaus and British brutalist architectural styles. Powering this mechanical work of art is the Miyota 9039 automatic movement, 28,800 beats per hour, plus or minus 10 to 30 seconds a day. It has a slightly audible rotor sound at times. But looking at the case back, it is screwed down, lightly brushed stainless steel, sapphire crystal, exhibition style, with a partition that has an M-shaped thin line mark representing the company that leads to the text stating the combining factors that inspire the watch: Japanese heart, German love, and Philly sarcasm. The rotor also makes an appearance, if orientation permits, where you can see the text markings of Mark Time for yourself. I love this hidden message. It promotes self-care and self-love for yourself. I absolutely love this hidden message behind the watch because I often preach to family members that the most important person in your life is yourself, because if you're not able to take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of others. So I really believe in that slogan, and I'm really excited to uncover the fact that Mark also shares the same values and has put that on the rotor. At this point of view, we can also spot the finishing of the posterior bronze lugs that are brushed and polished at the lug foot. There is only about 1 millimeter of the back of the bronze case peeking through the sides and the corners that also appear to be polished. 42 millimeters diameter for the case, 49.5 millimeters lug to lug, 12.1 millimeters to about 12.5 millimeters in thickness depending on where you place those calibers. The case material of this model is bronze with brushed sides leading to the polished chamfered lugs, with the top of the lug being brushed as well, and even between the lugs we have brushing, which houses a 22 millimeter lug width strap. The bezel is fixed and has polishing on the sides that leads to a sloped and brushed top portion, giving a polished sandwich effect between the case and on top of the bezel. Inside of that bezel, making contact with the crystal, is also polished and mimics the representation of the case back that was peeking out and polished as well. Speaking of the crystal, we are getting a double domed AR treated sapphire crystal to guard that dial. The crown, 5.8 millimeters in thickness, push-pull. The crown has retired its guards, but it also is of bronze material and grips to the finger tight with a coined edge. The head of the crown is signed with an M for the company logo, with a brushed background, and it ever so slightly is raised off that coin edging. We're not getting any screw down here, so effectively making the watch 10 ATM, so waterproof, suitable for surface swimming, snorkeling, but not scuba diving. Just below the crystal, we are met first with an oversized baton hands that I couldn't help but think of mundane watches with its own twist, almost camouflage in a navy blue base against that dial, chalk white tips for the hour and minute hand, taking about 75 to 80% of the hand, packed full of lume, grade A BGW9 lume that is. The second hand is a one-way street, offers us no lume, and extends itself all the way out to the edge of the dial with a red tip to unveil its stealth position. Now remember, at first glance, the dial gave me an impression of it being more of a fashion watch, but man, when I got this watch in hand, the dial is absolutely stunning. It has a circular center that is a navy blue sunburst effect in bright light. The only text that you can find is at the 12 position, Mark Time in red, and M1-2 for the model. Although the text is small, it's unlikely that you'll be able to read it with the naked eye, or maybe it's just time for me to get a stronger prescription in my glasses, but that's a good thing because I feel that overall the theme of the watch is to be of minimalistic, and a larger logo with text would have distorted that in my opinion. Further out, We have a sandwich style railroad track design look that is also packed full of lume. A bridge leading to the edge of the dial representing the hour markers. Now, there definitely are some enthusiasts who can't be in favor of a dial that doesn't have a minute marker on a minimalistic style, but have no fear, because the outer borders of the dial, if you look closely, there's actually some braille-like raised bumps that give you the value of the minutes for exact time setting. And I love that Mark made this compromise because it both keeps the dial minimalistic as possible. He could have easily painted those bump outs in white, but I'm really glad that he didn't. Now, when you step into a dark room, the lume really is a spectacle to see. The way that the lume is applied on this watch, on that outskirts of the railroad track, and on the hands really gives everything a flowing, but rather floating kind of vibe. And I thought it was really cool to see that negative second hand cover up where its location is, watching the hands kind of levitate and be kind of at random spots to indicate the time, and then giving you a nice bright outer ring effect on the lume itself. The watch comes with either a 22mm leather strap or a 22mm curved rubber silicone strap, but I only received the leather strap in this occasion where I'm borrowing the watch just to make this content. The leather strap is double stitched, it's of decent quality, and the lug holes are filled with a quick release spring bar, and on the inside of the leather strap it is branded with the company logo leading down to a bronze buckle to complement the watch, which is also engraved. Now, I found it rather difficult for me to fit in some improvements as far as it goes. I really didn't want to nitpick or really force myself to try and find some improvements to maybe not look like I'm favoring the watch, which I'm really not doing here. I honestly just like the watch the way it is. The only things that I really could bring up that I know would be maybe an overall thing was drilled lugs as far as the sides are concerned. Yes, you are getting quick release on the straps, but if you want to switch out another strap on your own that maybe doesn't have quick release, that's always like the first thing that I look for. I know I preach it all day long, but that's something that I know is an improvement and makes things a lot easier. The only other recommendation that I can really give is to make a smaller unit. I know there's some wrists out there that are 6 to 6.5 inch wrist circumference that possibly would be able to fit smaller size. That 49.5 and that 42mm may be big for some wrists out there, so maybe offering another smaller case down the road would be advantageous for Mark. And lastly, when I first looked into the company's website, I did type in Mark Time watches, and the first thing that came up was a landing page that didn't have many specifications. Mark provided me with another website link, which I'll list in the description below, where you could find those specifications, but it also would probably be advantageous for customers to be able to get to that one place where everything could be easily obtainable. The watch is $399 USD in time of filming this video. It comes with a 2-year warranty, 7-day free return, free shipping as well. So that's all really nice to offer as a company. Overall, I really do like the watch. It's well made, well constructed. I do feel the passion that's put into the watch. I'm glad I was able to get a hands-on review for this watch in particular, so that my initial impressions of seeing it for the first time online was changed in a dramatic way, if you will. There's definitely some deep messages in there. There's definitely some closer to look at aspects in the design that would have been missed by looking at this through a computer. So good job, Mark. I'm very excited to do the next review on a different model that we have coming up soon. I appreciate you guys for checking out the content. Let me know what your opinion is of the watch. I'm curious if I missed something or if you guys feel differently. Again, all of this is just in my opinion. I want to make things clear that you guys need to be the end deciding factor. I'm not pushing an agenda. I'm simply creating this content for you guys to get an impression of what I think in my opinion. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. And just so you guys know, it all started with a watch. No matter where your watch collection journey takes you, no matter how you decide to collect, you guys are all welcome on this channel and in this community, as you should be. I appreciate you guys for checking out the content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.